Yo, welcome everyone. Massive liquidations are going to hit the crypto market very soon. People are shorting like crazy, forming major liquidation clusters exactly above the highs. But that is why a major short squeeze is coming very soon. Now, you can already right now see Bitcoin has started moving towards the upside exactly after hitting the daily high-term timeframe area of support at approximately 102.8 thousand US dollars. Now, this specific daily support level was also very nicely aligning with the last important volume support area, again at approximately 102.6.7 thousand US dollars. But to be honest, remember the level I showed you yesterday. We were paying a very close attention to the liquidity level, aligning very nicely with the golden Fibonacci ratio, where I was even prepared to take another long position on the Bitcoin chart itself. And yes, to be honest, I was quite confident the level is going to be hit, simply because we started forming a very nice bearish divergence on the CVD indicator, aka Bitcoin got bearish absorption. That being said, people were buying, but the price simply was not moving towards the upside. That is why I was very confident the level is going to be hit. But remember, the level unfortunately was not hit. However, I still stick to my plan, and also I did not let emotion affect my trading decisions. Make sure the market commits to you before you commit to the market. And also something I posted about on Twitter only 1 hour ago. Good morning to everyone who didn't chase this move up. If my level is not hit, the trade does not exist. Period. So once again, I am not going to take a trade if the market is not going to hit my level, because of course I made my plan and also I need to follow my plan. Even though we got a bearish divergence right here, even though in my opinion the probability of moving towards our level was still very high, the market did not hit the level. That is why I did not enter another position. I am approaching the chart as objectively as possible. I am reading the data, and once again, I am not letting emotions affect my trading decisions. Fortunately for me, I am still holding some very nice long positions on Bitcoin from approximately 102.2 thousand US dollars. I am still in a long position on Dogecoin right here, and additionally, I am holding some major long positions on Bitcoin from much lower on Ethereum, on XRP, and also on Ondo. So later in the video, yes, I'm going to give you even more trading ideas, but nevertheless, right now, unfortunately, the level has still not been hit. Let's see if it's going to be hit maybe even in the next couple of days, but nevertheless, ultimately speaking, yes, I would like to see another push towards the upside in the next couple of days, in the next couple of hours, simply because major liquidations are still being placed exactly above the recent highs. But more about that slightly later. Right now, let me remove everything from our chart and let's simply look at our market structure. I think you're going to agree with me, but the price action is not really doing anything major. We might even be forming some kind of a symmetrical triangle, and trust me, people are going to trade the breakout either way. If we start breaking towards the upside, people are going to FOMO into a long position. If we start breaking it towards downside, people are going to enter probably a brand new short or a sell position. But what we usually say, we do not trade any breakouts. We long at the area of support, we buy low and sell high. That is why even if Bitcoin right now does see another rejection down, see some kind of a fake out of our triangle, because this specific area, it is still an area of support, I would much rather go and fire another long position right here versus to go with the breakdown trade out of this specific triangle. And that is also right now why I would really appreciate for you to smash up the like button, because 1000 likes are definitely possible. And also, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Let me right now also do share with you something very important not a lot of people are paying attention to. And this indicator is going to be Bollinger Bands, because there is a right now, at least on the 4-hourly time frame, squeezing very much together. So what does it mean? If the Bollinger Bands are squeezing together, that simply means a big move is going to happen sooner rather than later in the next couple of hours, or at least I would say potentially tomorrow, because we are going to start a brand new week. Look at the last time when the Bollinger Bands actually squeezed so much together. It was only a couple of weeks ago at the start of May when Bitcoin then got a push towards the upside because Bollinger Bands were squeezing very much together. Exactly the same thing also happened on 18th of April. Bollinger Bands went very much together. We got a very nice pump towards the upside on the Bitcoin chart itself, and as of right now they're also coming very much together. Price is squeezing within some kind of a symmetrical triangle, and that is also why I am expecting a significant and a big move in either direction, ideally towards the upside, because majority of the market is right now holding a short position. And how do I know that? Because major liquidations are as of right now not below the lows but actually above the highs, and the first major liquidation cluster is going to come in at approximately 105,000 US dollars. But to be honest, ideally I want to see even higher targets on Bitcoin, because if we are zooming out on the 2-week time frame, clearly you can see that as of right now on the entire 2-week chart, the biggest liquidation cluster is not below the lows but actually approximately at 106,000 US dollars. That is why, yes, even if we right now do see some kind of a fake out of the triangle, majority of people are going to be selling right here, going with a breakout trade. But once again, we know at the area of support in an uptrend, ideally we are still looking for some kind of a long or a buying position on the Bitcoin chart itself. Now, additionally, something I really want to point out are going to be our volume levels that can right now still be identified measuring this entire upper price action. So let's go with the indicator fixed range volume profile measuring this entire sideways move, and you can right now see the value area high, the last volume area of resistance, is coming up on Bitcoin at approximately 104.3 thousand US dollars. And what is going to be a very simple theory you should always pay attention to? It is going to be more times we retest a level, more times we retest an area of resistance, and of course also an area of support, the higher the likelihood of a successful breakout. So that is why if Bitcoin is going to continue pushing higher in the next couple of hours, I am very confident the volume area of resistance right here is actually finally going to see a break towards the upside. The more times we retest, the weaker the level becomes. And that is why if we right now continue higher, I am expecting at least this specific liquidation cluster at approximately 105,000 US dollars to be reached, to be taken, and that is why a lot of short positions are literally going to be completely wrecked and completely liquidated. Now, some people actually already said to me, bro, look at the RSI indicator on the 1 hourly and the 2 hourly time frame, because clearly we are as of right now forming some kind of a hidden bearish divergence. Lower high is being formed on Bitcoin, while the RSI is forming a higher high on the 2 hourly time frame, and the exact same thing is also happening on the 1 hourly time frame. We are definitely forming a very slight higher high on the RSI, while Bitcoin is seeing a lower high right here. Now, to be honest, this specific bearish indication or this specific bearish hidden divergence, at least in my opinion, is nothing significant. If it's going to play out, yes, we can potentially still expect some kind of a move towards downside, but nevertheless, this area right here we have been right now paying attention to for the past couple of days. It is still going to be one of the best levels where personally I am looking for a brand new long position. Of course, I don't know if the level is going to hold. Nevertheless, I am trading with a major trend. I know also exactly that in an uptrend, support levels have a higher probability of holding, and also we have a very clear invalidation level exactly below the low, targeting ideally approximately 106,000 US dollars, which this exact specific trade is going to give us, let's just say, approximately 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. To be honest, I am definitely interested in taking this specific trade. Clear invalidation level if the plan is not going to play out, but nevertheless, I am still, as of right now, holding some nice long positions across the entire crypto market. And also, if you right now want to trade with us and take advantage of the free 8,000 US dollar bonus without KYC and without VPN, click the second link down below in the description, because BitUnix this exchange is right now giving to you only for the next 4 more days by the 22nd of May a 20% deposit bonus. After you're going to make your first trade, you're going to get up to 500 USDT, and also as of right now we are hosting a 2000 USDT trading competition. So take advantage of all of those free bonuses using the second link down below. No KYC, no VPN, deposit on your account because you're also going to get a 20% deposit bonus. Now let me also talk about another very important liquidation cluster that can right now be seen if we are zooming in on the 3-day time frame. Yes, it does look like some liquidations are also placed approximately below our recent lows at, let's just say, 102.3 thousand US dollars. Approximately, if we start taking out those specific lows, those liquidations are going to be hit. But nevertheless, bigger liquidations are still going to be above our recent highs. And the bigger the liquidations, the more stronger the level is going to be acting as some kind of a magnet for the Bitcoin price itself. That is why, ideally, I want right now for Bitcoin to go even higher towards the upside, for us to take some liquidity above the recent highs, and only then I would potentially be interested firing another short or a sell position on the Bitcoin chart itself. That is why as of right now I am not holding any shorts across the entire cryptocurrency market. I am only in some very nice long positions and still waiting for Bitcoin to go higher to take some liquidity above the recent highs, ideally above 106,000 US dollars. Now let me also go on the weekly time frame, because right here the weekly candle is going to close in only 14 hours. If we are going to close the weekly candle something like that, it simply means indecision in the market. However, from this exact candle close, we could potentially form a shooting star pattern, which is going to be a reversal candlestick pattern, which is of course going to be a bearish pattern, potentially expecting a bigger retracement back towards downside in the next couple of weeks. And we are talking about this exact pattern when we are seeing, of course, a significant uptrend right here. Then we form some kind of a bearish pin bar or a doji, something Bitcoin is doing as of right now on the weekly time frame. And then of course, if we are going to see some kind of a red candle the next week, we can confirm this shooting star pattern, which once again could potentially mean Bitcoin is expected to see some kind of a push towards downside in the next couple weeks. This specific pattern is as of right now still not confirmed, so of course I am not saying to you we should be immediately expecting a reversal right here. Nevertheless, on the push towards the upside, if potentially we are going to start taking some of the highs right here, I am definitely paying myself, taking some profit off the table, because of course if we are pumping right here, I want to pay myself for my efforts, and only on the push up I am not going to look for a brand new long position, only for a potential short or a sell position on the Bitcoin chart itself. Now additionally, let me share with you exactly what has been happening on the Bitcoin semi futures chart. This specific chart is as of right now closed and is going to open tomorrow on Monday. We closed it at approximately 104,000 US dollars, and the Bitcoin price is as of right now also trading at approximately 104,000 US dollars, which as of right now means the CME gap is not going to be formed if we are going to also open this specific chart in the next couple of hours approximately at this exact area. And that is simply why I personally wouldn't pay that much attention to this specific chart unless Bitcoin is actually right now going to see a major pump right here or potentially a major dump. If we are going to see a big move only in the next couple of hours, a major CME gap can be formed, which of course if we go up is going to be a bearish indication. If Bitcoin is going to go down, it is going to be a bullish Bitcoin indication, because 90% of all of the CME gaps usually like to get filled sooner rather than later. But we are going to talk about the CME futures chart also tomorrow if the gap is going to be formed, and that is simply why you should really be subscribed to the channel, because you don't want to miss my next update about Bitcoin price prediction. But nevertheless, let me right now also share with you exactly what is happening with Ethereum right here, because we are able to reclaim our daily high term time frame area of resistance right there, and additionally we started moving at least some kind of towards the upside. I am paying attention on Ethereum, of course, if Bitcoin is going to behave and see another push up towards a diagonal area of resistance, aligning very nicely with the golden Fibonacci ratio at approximately 2,570 US dollars. This right here is going to be one of the most and the first important levels you should be aware of in a case Bitcoin is actually going to see a very nice pump towards the upside, maybe even in the next couple of hours, seeing a major short squeeze towards some major liquidation clusters. And that is also right now why, if you want to take an advantage of the free $8,000 bonus without KYC and without VPN, click the second link down below in the description, because after you're going to deposit, you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. And also right now, thank you for smashing up the like button.